tracks, where the pace leader is called peace of mind. As for instance happens often within the web of itineraries leading to sanctuaries called the ways of faith. Here we are making a brief stop in a very evocative place. Yes, pedaling along the various MTB itineraries in the Biellese territory, you'll come across a great many places of interest, not only from a naturalistic point of view, but also from a historical and artistic standpoint, as for instance the sanctuary of Graglia, where we are right now. This here is a sanctuary built in the 17th century, where anyone can stop and take a break, make a visit, get some food, and even stay over for the night. The sanctuary of Graglia is just one example of the many places to visit along the ways of faith. Along these itineraries, and throughout the province of Biella, there's a mosaic of sanctuaries and holy places, typically hospitable and receptive for the needs of the tourist on the move. Alongside Graglia, the most important sanctuary for thousands of religious people throughout the world is that of Oropa, home to the statue of the venerated Black Madonna. The sanctuary of Oropa comprises the ancient basilica, where the statue made of wood and ornamented in gold and jewelry is kept. The new church and the 19 chapels of the Sacro Monte is situated outside the monumental complex. Paintings and murals adorn the interiors of the ancient basilica and along the hallways above the porticos on the sacred piazza. There are numerous advantages offered to anyone who chooses to come pedaling in the Biellese. Apart from the magnificent trails that you'll find here, all clearly marked and accompanied by rich geographical cartography indicating them, here you'll find an extraordinary hospitality offered by the hotels and other accommodation. Furthermore, an on-hand technical assistance is available for any contingency, be it of a technical nature or otherwise. Simply by dialing a number, the crew will find you wherever you are based on the indications you give and transport you back without any worries. Should you have a GPS system, you can localize at any time the exact point where you are during your excursion. At Vermogno, just below the greenhouse moors, the biker can drop by the visitors' center of the natural reserve of the Bessa. Indeed, an extraordinary scenario. Just a few feet from the visitors' center, you step into a truly fascinating and mysterious world. Mysterious because, upon entering, the visitor takes in an almost lunar atmosphere, with cumuli of immense dimensions strewn across the scenery like desert dunes. Fascinating because this is home to thousands of years of history. More than 2,000 years ago, this territory was home to the Ictimoli, a people forced by the Romans to transform the Bessa into one of the greatest open-air gold mines the world has ever seen. The cumuli is evidence of the gruesomely hard work the Ictimoli had to exercise, residual waste left behind by the particular digging process. The exhaustion of these resources made the Romans move across the Alps, looking for fresh mines, leaving the territory behind abandoned. From a naturalistic point of view, the natural reserve of the Bessa, located at 300 to 400 meters above sea level, is an incredibly rich collection of rock types. These were for the most part pushed down to the valley by the glaciers of the Quaternary period. In the soil grows a vegetation made from lichen, mosses, heather and other shrubs, but the panorama of vegetation and trees also consists of cherries, prunus, hawthorn, cyclamen and dog rose. as seen during spring. For anyone passionate about bicycling on a professional level, the Biellese province offers a vast range of choices of training. There's the plains where one can work on agility. Then one can move up in the mountains for hill training. And then, of course, there are the array of technical trails where exercise and fun are perfectly mixed together. The natural water resources of this territory all have in common a peculiar characteristic of being extremely low on salts and on fixed residues. This explains why, during the 19th century, the area was witness to the birth of a thriving textile industry. The water resources here also gave way to hydrotherapy. At the beginning of the 20th century, the Biellese was home to 5 thermal spas. The light water is particularly useful for the athlete during physical exertion. The low amount of salt contained in this water facilitates elimination of toxins sedimented during physical activity. Practically all the itineraries here are on natural soil of various nature, but there's a series of roads where asphalt permits especially families and beginners to enjoy their stay with ease. As routes of connection, exactly, you'll find a web of asphalted roads and streets that work as connections between the different off-road trails. Vast grasslands and moors spotted with sporadic trees and small woody valleys. The Barragge landscape immediately strikes for its simplicity and its balance between spaces and forms, for its limitless appearance extending to the infinite. It looks like the African savanna landscape. The upper plains of Biella, Vercelli and Novara host these particular landscapes, which are usually formed by vast uplands with altitudes varying from 150 to 350 meters above sea level. This is the Ricetto of Candelo, one of the most significant historical monuments of our territory. This Ricetto dates back to the second half of the 14th century and is one of the important stages of the Biellese, an emblematic stage that you can easily encounter during your excursions in mountain bike. Close by, just a few hundred meters from here, from the Ricetto of Candelo, the oriented reserve of the Barragge is located. This beautiful natural park is recognized and supported by the Piemontese region and can brandish an incredible array of colors that will remind you of the colors of Africa, especially during autumn. Even the vegetation is very similar to that of the African savannas. So this is our territory, a territory experienced naturally not only by mountain bike, but through equestrian trekking and alpinism, since 60% of the Biellese consists of mountains. Many other mountain resorts around the Alps are envious of our mountains that are very well equipped in every possible way, an absolute must-see. Our territory is a coming together of different forces and interest groups, including the ATL, that is, the tourist promotion agency that I represent. We all come together to promote tourism, while always looking for new ways of getting across the values of this area that up until a few years ago was known as simply an industrial area. This has brought about a definite cutting-edge quality to our offers to the tourist. On behalf of the Tourist Promotion Agency, I invite everyone to come and visit the Biellese territory, which is particularly suitable for families in open, hospitable and serene surroundings. This is the doorway to the future of tourism.